Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to the shop here at Lone Star Mopars. What I have in front of us is some Wizard Ultra Whilte xenon bulbs. What these are actually fog light bulbs. Back in the day, and for me personally that means roughly late 90s, early in 2000, when you saw a car that had the blue glow coming at you. You know, it wasn't necessarily an import, it wasn't necessarily, like it is today with an HID setup. It was pretty much everyone was running halogens, outside of a very few imports or extreme customs. And that glow came most often from Wizard. Everyone would run and they'd pick up the bulbs from AutoZone or the local parts store. They would look blue installed. They wouldn't really give you a true blue glow. At the time, Wizards, they kind of got hard to come by. It's kind of a long story there, but anyway, they're back, they're available now. I don't think they're quite as blue as they used to be. I'm not quite sure that was DOT legal actually, but if you're trying to keep a fog light bulb DOT legal where you can actually run it, and you don't want to do anything crazy, burn your harness up or something, let's get the OE spec bulb, and I still think Wizard's the way to go. Sorry about that. You've probably seen these sitting on the table for quite some time as we fix the tripod here. But what happened, it'd been a long time since I'd replaced them. I think I've got some plasma glows or something in there. I ordered the 893s, which was purely accidental. They're 12 volt, 37.5 watt. They do not fit the we're putting these in the Dodge Ram. As you can see, the base on these, it's straight. That's essentially your connection point. These fit the sockets just fine. If you spliced it together or bought a harness extension, you could get by. I don't like to do things that way. I like to get it right. What the Dodge Ram actually needs is the 896. Okay, the packaging on this is actually a little different. There's kind of a tab you can kind of see here where the cut was. But as I was getting to, these are 894s. They're also 881s. They're also 896s. I couldn't tell you why there's not just a consistent. I'd understand it, if one was 37.5 and one was 65 watt or something like that. But they're essentially the same spec. Different manufacturers pick different numbers. Take that into consideration. Just do a little research on it. I'm having a heck of a time with this camera today. But anyway, as we open it up here, get the foam out, you can kind of see where the others were the straight base, coming down. These actually have the 90-degree turn. That little extra bit, I know it seems pretty irrelevant. Apparently we need a set screw on this, but I know it seems irrelevant, but the harness itself is actually just a little bit too short to work with the other setup, so you do actually have to have the 90 or modify your harness. But what we're going to do is go ahead and install these. As you can see, they look great, just out of the packaging. They'll look great in the housing of the lens. What we're interested in, though, of course, is what they look like when they're actually installed at night. I will get them in, we'll kind of see what they do, and we'll go from there. Alright, hey everybody, this is what we have installed currently. This is actually an upgrade from the factory. It's kind of hard to tell with the lighting in here. I'm seeing the viewfinder just like you will when it's uploaded. What's really skewing the color effect is, of course, the park light lens. That's the typical amber color. Any blue or blue-white that you would see is kind of taken away from this. You can't really stimulate it without being out on the road, and I can't really film there, but I believe these are, I want to say they're plasma glow. I honestly can't remember, it's been so long. If you have these on, there is a little tiny sliver of blue. I'd almost call it like a, ice blue, and I mean that very conservatively. As we get closer to the housing, it's really more or less, if I had to sway this, I'd say it's like 60% OE, maybe 40%, aftermarket blue at best. The shop is filthy. We're actually shining this on a 318 and a 440. But as you can see, I mean, that's really the best I can do. I'm running out of space, but that's what we have to work with. I'm going to turn this off, get these bulbs out before they get really hot, and we'll install the Wizards. Alright, we are set up on the passenger side underneath our Dodge Ram. I have no idea how well you'll be able to hear me. I will say the hardest part of this install is positioning a tripod and a work light. What you see here, obviously the connector's been broke off on this end at some point, but you can see the bulb we currently have installed right here, and then the kind of yellowed white. This was originally white, I'm sure, when the truck was new. The connector's in there. Sometimes you can actually get that tab down with your finger. These are fragile, they are easily broken. When possible, you know, I'll try to use a plastic tool. I actually got it by hand. I think I did. It's hard to see with the camera in front of me, but let's see. There's the tabs on the side that are what we actually have to get off. And you'll note the resistance that we felt is actually from this, you know, seal here, the orange. We can work that loose. Here's your factory connector. You can see the groove right here. That's going to make it one directional. Note on this side it's actually a smooth finish, as opposed to this side it's got the groove in the middle. Almost everything is like that now. It's really foolproof. At least everything I've taken apart. They do this essentially so you don't screw it up. I mean, obviously you've got a plus and a minus, and you make it simple for people, and you know, you don't have to worry about mistakes. To get this out, the bulb itself, we're actually going to turn to the, let's see, well, when you're laying on your back, it's going to be to your right. If you're coming in from the front side, it would be to the left, but either way, just consider it that you're going towards the passenger door. Very carefully try to get the bulb out, and then of course don't drop it. This is what I had installed. It is a, I'm sorry, it's StreetGlow. That's what I had installed. You can see it's got a light blue tip, but then the casing on the top is silver. The Wizard bulb, I don't know that it'll be the blue color everyone wants to have, you know, with the halogen, but you know, it should be an upgrade from this, at least in terms of appearance, particularly in the daylight with the bulb out. But now that we've got it removed on the passenger side, I will grab the Wizards, which I cannot reach from where I am, and we'll get those installed. Alright, so I've grabbed the Wizard bulb. I do want to mention, I should have mentioned this beforehand, don't do this when the bulbs are hot. If you do, be extremely careful. You don't want to burn yourself. You can actually melt the bulb to the plastic housing or have it break, you know, if it gets hot and you panic. So if you can't go until after work, you know, and you want to get home and put them in, give the car time to cool off, you know, just feel the back of the bulb beforehand. But right here we have the new Wizard, which I think they called it, what was it, 881? No, they called it 894, even though it's an 896. And comparison side by side, here's the StreetGlow. So you can kind of tell the difference between the blue there. But I'm going to very carefully put the StreetGlow back into the case. Another important aspect to mention here, do not touch the bulb. Note how I'm holding it by the socket. You never want to touch the glass. You know, I mean, you can, and it's just the oil from your hand on a halogen. You know, it can shorten the life or just have it blow up on impact. You know, it's, I've never seen it done. That's what I've been told, so I just, you know, proceed carefully. Before I put that in, note that there are the three basically clocked positions. When you put this in on the housing, you note that we turned it left, so come in with the base to the left, and you should be able to line up the three connectors like we just did. And as you can see past my finger, I don't want the bulb to come out, but the socket right here is pointed out. Obviously, to secure this, we need to turn it back to the left if you're on your back, to the right if you come in from the front, This is actually the best position in my opinion, and just turn it. It is now secured in place. You can see that our outlet, the socket on the bulb is here. Come back down, you'll find the convoluted tubing. It's very easy to pick up since it's got the orange position. And then you simply come in, and again, that's going to be one directional. You heard it snap into place. Again, it's unfortunate this end is broken off, but everything is secure. And I will bring the camera out, we'll take a look at it in the lens, and then I will turn the truck on with the fog lights, and we will take a look at the driver's side, which is a StreetGlow modification versus the Wizard 896 bulb. Okay, so we're back on the passenger side here where we just installed the Wizard bulb in our Dodge Ram. You can see just in the building and up close, it's kind of just a bright white, kind of an ultra white like they call it. As we come down and kind of look at the beam pattern, you do notice a little bit of blue in it. My hope is at night, that we'll kind of see primarily a blue beam here. And what I'm going to do now, as we look at this angle, is take you around to the driver's side of the truck. As you look down, this isn't a factory bulb, this is the StreetGlow. I have not installed the Wizard yet, but you note, there's a transmission, but it's more of a white. There's not a blue glow like you see with the Wizard. It is a pure white, to the StreetGlow's credit, and the bulb is old. It did have a little bit more blue to it years ago when first installed. You can kind of see where they cross paths. Again, apologies, that's a old 318 right there, but you do note a little bit more blue in the Wizard compared to the StreetGlow. Again, if this was a factory bulb, I feel like we'd see a much bigger difference, but again, there is the StreetGlow bulb installed still on our driver's side. Again, here's the pattern with the beams conflicting. You can see that's white. There's a little hingy yellow there with the StreetGlow bulb, and then there is surprisingly a little bit of blue there. So we'll go ahead and kill these before they get too hot, and I will replace the driver's side over here. Alright, we're back over here on the driver's side of our Dodge Ram we're working on today. Just replaced the passenger side with a Wizard bulb. This is the replacement StreetGlow from several years ago. Again, hardest part here is that's totally not much. See what's going on. It's just positioning the camera, and the work light and everything that you need. But in theory, it's the exact same thing as the passenger side. You want to come in and lift the tab off of each side, which is actually pretty easy if you're not trying to work around the camera. But as you can see, I just by hand again got it pulled. As you come down, if you notice resistance, stop. Don't break the tabs off. Exact same setup as the passenger side. We've got the orange, grommet seal everything up. We've got the two tabs. That's what one looks like intact. Let's see which way we have to turn. Yeah, this one is going to be the same way. Just, turn it out towards the passenger side. I did just run these, so I'm going to be as careful as I can when I pull them out. There's a little bit of heat to it, really not much. And there comes our StreetGlow bulb. Like I said, these did have a little bit more blue to them when they were new. That quickly wore off. Big difference is probably going to be that silver cap at the end versus a Wizard that doesn't have one. But again, I'm going to be careful. We'll go ahead and turn the camera off and grab the Wizard bulb. We'll install it. Alright, I've got the Wizard bulb out. Again, don't touch the glass. If you thought that the Wizard bulb was a little bit longer than the StreetGlow, looks can be deceiving. What it is, it's actually just that silver cap that we don't have present on the Wizard bulb. But again, you can kind of see there's two here and one at the top. We'll correspond that with the bulb when we put it into place. And you simply slide it in. Again, don't touch the glass of the bulb, and try not to, cram it against the housing or something and actually shatter your bulb. That would not be good. But you get it lined up, it's in place, which you can kind of tell there it's tilted towards the passenger side. Installed and tight is going to be down, which that's actually kind of hard. That tab digs into your thumb. It's very sharp on these Wizards. Kind of put a hole in my thumb, but it's nothing too major. You know, painful for a brief moment, that's all. But then we come back in again. Note the crease here on this side, not present on the other. That makes it a true one-way installation. Can't really screw it up. You just come in, you get the socket started, force it up. When you hear it snap, both tabs are now secure. We have the driver's side Wizard 896 bulb installed. I know I'm saying that it's 894, but you know, it's 896 in the manual. It's the same bulb, so that's what we'll go with. But we will now turn the truck on, see what they look like together, and go from there. We're here in the Dodge Ram. What we're going to do is turn these on. There's our park lights, the annoying chime. Now I'm going to pull it out for the fog lights. You can follow along. And there you go. Against the cluttered wall of the shop, you do actually pick up a nice blue. Let's go ahead and hop out and get away from the chime. Coming up, you know, it's not, I don't know if anyone that ever wants this is going to have as blue as they want, but you can see the blue beam here on the concrete floor. The weird lines are actually from the grill guard, but you come out and where you see my finger, we've got kind of a pure white, and then we cross into a blue. You can see the beams kind of where they cross, a little X in the middle about at the main beam of the engine stand. And as we come out, you know, on the extremities, you kind of see a nice blue. Can't tell much there, but again, that is a Wizard 896 installed on a 2001 Dodge Ram. Questions, comments, feel free to ask here on YouTube or sign up on the forum. And as always, thanks for watching.